listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast, a podcast for today's insurance agents. Informing, educating, empowering, improving the way you do business in an industry that's anything but static.
In today's episode, before you can start helping Medicare beneficiaries find the coverage they need, you'll need to get permission to contact first. Where it all begins, obtaining permission to contact for Medicare sales, written by Cassidy Potts. You have to start somewhere with a potential Medicare client, and while it might be tempting to jump right in and start selling, you actually can't do that in Medicare. There are some things you need to know and do first, chiefly securing permission to contact, or PTC for short. No Medicare sale can truly start without the go-ahead from a beneficiary. We're here to teach you how to connect with potential clients while following all the rules. Let's start with the definition so we're all on the same page. What is permission to contact for Medicare sales? Permission to contact exists to protect beneficiaries from receiving unsolicited outreach from an agent selling Medicare products. If you want to remain compliant, it's vital that the beneficiary initiates the first direct contact. You need to receive a Medicare beneficiary's express permission to be contacted before you initiate direct communication with them, whether it's over the phone or through other digital media. Also important, this permission must be documented. Is permission to contact the same thing as a scope of appointment? Permission to contact and a scope of appointment, again PTC and SOA for short, are not the same thing, but they do work together to help you make a sale compliantly. Before you can call or send a text message to a beneficiary, you must receive PTC. At that point, you can collect a scope of appointment, which allows agents to engage in a discussion, either in person or by phone, with the potential client regarding the specific products they want to discuss at an appointment. When do you need permission to contact? Agents need to secure PTC anytime you want to start a conversation with any prospective Medicare client, especially those interested in Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. Something to note, while Medicare Supplement is not governed by CMS rules, it is still subject to the Telephone Consumer Protection Act TCPA guidelines. Also, it is inevitable that agents will need to discuss prescription drug coverage for their clients with a Medicare Supplement policy. For these reasons, we always encourage generating permission with all product types. It's actually non-compliant to bait and switch by selling a MedSup lead a Medicare Advantage plan. Proper disclaimers must be included on the PTC form. When the scope of products to be discussed includes Medicare Supplement products, the disclaimer, quote, "This is a solicitation of insurance," must be present. The only exception for unsolicited beneficiary contact under the CMS rules is that agents may send unsolicited emails to potential enrollees to market their services. But the email must have an opt-out option, and the content cannot be deemed as marketing material. Brief aside here, CMS defines marketing material as content containing plan premium, co-payment, benefits information, or the intent to steer the prospect into choosing or retaining a plan. In addition to meeting CMS-specific marketing guidelines, email solicitation must also meet CAN spam requirements. In case you need a refresher, we'll have the TCPA and CAN Spam Act requirements linked in the episode notes. Good idea to bookmark those pages for future reference as well. Another thing to note, when it comes to Medicare clients in your current client record, you do not need to secure permission to contact. We reviewed what a PCT is and who you need to collect it from. Now let's look at how to collect permission to contact. So, what can you do to start a conversation with a potential client if the beneficiary must be the one to initiate contact? Agents may send unsolicited emails to potential enrollees that market their services, as long as they meet certain requirements. But to actually have a conversation, you'll need to collect PTC. Agents can send out business reply cards, or BRCs, and compliant emails that have an opt-out option. Agents can contact a beneficiary after they request a return call and after they fill out an online contact form. Agents are prohibited from sending Medicare prospects, text messages, or direct messages on social media. Agents cannot sell Medicare door-to-door or collect contact information for a spouse. PTC must be provided for each individual. So, for example, if you receive PTC for Mary, you cannot contact her husband John without getting John's PTC. To draw a prospect's attention to places where you can collect their PTC, we recommend promoting your services as an agent through affinity partnerships with community businesses, a maintained business website, and placing your phone number alongside advertisements for your services through traditional and modern marketing methods. There are compliant ways to make the process easier with Plan Enroll. Your Plan Enroll landing page collects consumer info and PTC, making it easy to compliantly reach out. All you have to do is activate your Plan Enroll site within Integrity Connect, which also includes a quoting and enrollment tool. Once connected with a prospect through Plan Enroll, you can send an SOA by text or email via their client profile in Integrity Connect. To access Plan Enroll and Integrity Connect, agents must be registered with Ritter Insurance Marketing. Signing up is simple and free. We have links to learn more in the episode notes. Another resource you can use is Shop Ritter IM. There you can order personalized CMS-compliant business reply cards. This makes it easy to acquire leads. Just order the cards, mail them out, and wait for them to return. Quick note on Shop Ritter IM: agents must be registered with Ritter and have at least one active contract through our FMO to purchase marketing materials. Orders will be rejected if both requirements are not met. That resource will also be linked in the notes for this episode. You've learned how to compliantly receive PTC. But you might be wondering, does the Medicare permission to contact ever expire? How long does it last? Once the PTC request is received, an agent selling Medicare or prescription drug plans has 12 months from the prospect's signature date or their request for more information to contact the prospect before it expires. The last topic we'll touch on today is how to remain compliant if you work with a third party. If you use a third-party lead provider to connect with beneficiaries, they must also follow these requirements on your behalf. Disclose to Ritter and/or carriers any subcontracted relationships, such as the use of a third-party lead generation company, used for marketing, lead generation, and enrollment. Report to Ritter or carriers monthly any staff disciplinary actions associated with beneficiary interaction to the plan. Disclose to the beneficiary when conducting lead-generating activities that his or her information will be provided to a licensed insurance agent for future contact. Verbally when communicating with a beneficiary through the phone. In writing when communicating with a beneficiary through mail or other paper communication. Electronically when communicating with a beneficiary through email, online chat, or other electronic messaging platform. Or when conducting lead-generating activities, disclose to the beneficiary that he or she is being transferred to a licensed insurance agent who can enroll him or her into a new plan. Do not share personal beneficiary data with other third-party marketing organizations, or TPMOs. unless prior express written consent is given by the beneficiary. CMS defines TPMOs as, quote, organizations that are compensated to perform lead generation, marketing, sales, and enrollment-related functions as a part of the chain of enrollment, end quote. Prior express written consent from the beneficiary to share the data and be contacted for marketing or enrollment purposes must be obtained through a clear and conspicuous disclosure that lists each entity receiving the data and allows the beneficiary to consent or reject to the sharing of their data with each individual TPMO. We know agents want to get out there and start talking to potential clients, but it's crucial to understand all of the things that need to happen before you even have a conversation. Use our Medicare PTC guidelines to get things started and remember to stay compliant every step of the way. You can find the text version of our PTC guidelines along with all the information and resources we mentioned today in the episode notes. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next episode. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an Integrity company. This episode was written by Cassidy Potts, script proofing by Sarah Ruppel, recording and production by me, Tina Lamoureux, podcast design by Urban Rivera. Rate and review our show on Apple or Spotify.